guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's a beautiful day here, and the colors, you guys, the colors. How many of you actually noticed the beauty of everything around you? It's insane. These trees, the flowers, the smells in the air, the beauty of the sky, all of this, ladies and gentlemen. You see, we are designed to have our consciousness finely tuned to the world around us, and we're supposed to be constantly, through our brain, our spine, and our nervous system, all of our senses, etc., we're supposed to actually take in the elative qualities of nature, and it's designed to spark a certain very euphoric feeling in you. I hope that makes sense. You see, we're supposed to feel good all the time. We're supposed to feel high all the time. As crazy as that may seem to you, we're not designed to be depressed and need Prozac, Zoloft, and Paxil. It's amazing how many people are currently on these antidepressants and all these crazy drugs. Ladies and gentlemen, people abuse drugs because they're searching for what they're designed to have. I hope that makes sense. We're supposed to feel good by default, and most people don't feel good. We've been taken out of our natural habitat. We're domesticated creatures living in a false environment. We're completely spiritually deficient and depleted, and we've become stupid. We've become stupid, and we've become completely programmed by culture, and we've lost our roots. We've lost our magic. So no wonder people abuse drugs. No wonder the pharmacies are pumping out pharmaceuticals like jujubes, like M&Ms, like candy. Nowadays you can get a prescription for pretty much anything with, just by saying, I don't feel good, oh, well, here's a stimulant, or here's a SSRI, or it's just insane. And these drugs affect your dopamine, your serotonin. Some of these chemicals, you guys, you're playing Russian roulette. Now, I'm in no way, shape, or form against pharmaceutical drugs entirely. I'm in no way, shape, or form against chemicals and synthetics. Certain things, like certain nootropic compounds, have incredible benefits when consumed, or they exert a strong beneficial effect on the human brain, you name it. So again, I'm not just some person on here who's just, I just take nothing but herbs and, hug trees all day. That's not how reality works, ladies and gentlemen. You see, we've fallen down into hell, and some of these synthetics and some of these nootropics can really help us get our brain power back, but that's besides the point. I brought that up to demonstrate how there's healthier alternatives here in this crazy world to help you get back on track, at least in my opinion. But it's just insane, you guys. Excuse me. This world that we're living in, where these crazy pharmaceuticals and these chemicals and all these drugs are being used by people constantly because they don't feel good. We really have to ask ourselves why we don't feel good, or why people don't feel good. And people don't feel good because we are living reality in a way that we were not designed to live. Does that make sense? It's very simple. All of this is very, very simple. If you could just pull the layers back and get to the core of the issue. But it's very difficult for you to do that when you have no common sense, and common sense is not so common. Common sense is completely devoid in most people because how you've been programmed. Not only how you've been programmed to look at reality, but how your brain's been programmed to operate. You see, you've had your rationality taken out of you. You're trapped in your intellect. You no longer have the brain-heart connection that the ancient Egyptians were in connection with. That's besides the point. There's so many things. The problem with these videos that I make is every time I bring something up or dovetail a piece of information into my videos to describe something, it's like I could go off into left field and do an hour rant on that. But I mean, it's just ridiculous, you guys. Our biology, our physiology, our anatomy has been rewired, programmed, and put into a state that's like, it's like we're using a backup motor and using only 5% of our capacity. And it has a lot to do with our spine. It has a lot to do with our spinal cord and the vertebra and the brain. Bad posture has a lot to do with your mind control, ladies and gentlemen. The vertebral openings in your spinal column have tightened and become restricted, and because of that, your brain lacks the ability to properly communicate with the rest of your body, and impulses and information coming in from your body have a difficult time getting into your brain at the speed in which they should. And that's why everybody's so slow. That's why everybody calculates things so goddamn slow on a spiritual level, on a common sense level. I don't care how smart you think you are. I don't care how many mathematical equations you can do. I don't care how many books you've read. If your biology and physiology is in a hindered state where you cannot operate the way you were designed, there's an issue there. You see, you could be the smartest person in the world by the system standards and still be a goddamn idiot, and not have any of your Kundalini stimulation, not have any of your higher mind operating. Degrees, PhDs, doctorates, and all this other shit is in no way, shape, or form a sign of having wisdom. It's a sign that you are knowledgeable, but it is not wisdom, folks. I hate to say that. All the wisdom in the world, or excuse me, all the knowledge in the world, but you have all these health issues. All the knowledge in the world, but you've got all these stupid goddamn problems here in the Matrix. Some of the smartest people by the system standards that I know have the most problems. Now something's wrong there. So it's not just about the food, it's not just about the water, it's not just about the garbage air. It's about your spine to a large extent, folks. You see, your spine, your brain, your nervous system, this is the true stairway to heaven. It's the phone that we use to actually become God through Kundalini rising. You see, when Kundalini rises, you don't merge with God, you become God, which can be considered a form of merging. But Kundalini and the awakening of it, and the awakening of your optic core and your third eye, it has less to do with merging and more so to do with becoming. Now we're kind of going off into a right hand and left hand path course, and I don't want to get into that, but long story short, folks, the left hand path is where the true power is. The right hand path is all about integration and being recycled. So we've gone over the right and left hand path in previous videos. I'm not going to get into it. The left hand path has been completely bastardized by modern Satanism, modern occultists who don't know what the hell they're talking about. The left-hand path has nothing to do with evil, ladies and gentlemen. It has everything to do, however, with keeping your consciousness intact and not integrating after death and losing your memory. I hope that makes sense. I don't want to go off in this direction. You see, I don't want to merge with God. I don't want to merge with some unifying body of white light. Upon death, I want to keep my isolate consciousness, and I want to navigate where I want to navigate. Most people, when they die, they integrate. They don't keep their, they don't stay in a mortal spirit. So I don't want to get into this in this video, but Kundalini allows you to awaken that Luciferian flame within you so that you can actually maintain an actual identity, so that you can achieve soul immortality. So again, like I said earlier, the problem with these videos is I go off in a million different directions, but it's all relative in a sense. Long story short, folks, your nervous system, your brain, your body, your consciousness has been completely programmed, and because of that, you can no longer absorb the light the way that you were designed to. You see the light coming in from the sun, the color from everything, all of these wavelengths of energy, they no longer communicate with your brain the way that they were designed to, because your brain has been programmed, and because of that, you are not in a state of bliss and peace and nirvana when you walk around this goddamn matrix. There's a good chance while you walk around here in this matrix, you don't even see the beauty of nature. These trees, we are living in a living library of consciousness, a shamanic garden. These trees, ladies and gentlemen, are living entities. All of the green, all of the chlorophyll, everything, the flowers, this is all consciousness vibrating at various frequencies. And when you get your mind back, you experience profound states of consciousness just by being in the fucking garden. So we're going to go over some methods in the future. I might even put a course together on how to elongate your vertebral openings, to elongate the spine so that your brain and your body can start communicating with one another the way they were designed to, because until you achieve that, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to experience jack shit for higher consciousness unless you're using sacraments or psychedelics or something that can throw you out of your brain's normal trajectory. But that's not something that's sustainable long term. We need a system by which we can get back in alignment with our true power, and it has everything to do with the spine and the brain, bad posture and all of that. Bad posture equals bad consciousness. Bad consciousness equals an inability to make rational decisions. It's called a loss of common sense. If you want to get your common sense back, stretch your goddamn spine out. Start sleeping on a hard floor, a hardwood floor. Stop sleeping on beds. They're destroying your spine. Why do you think when people get old and they get hunched over, ladies and gentlemen, they compute information so slowly? Well, when you get hunched over, your brain and your spine, your body and your nervous system cannot communicate properly, which means slower impulses, slower nerve transmission. This is all so simple. If you could get your goddamn common sense back, go into your inner temple, make contact with your subconscious mind, do the full body relaxation exercise, put some shungite all over your body, and reprogram yourself, ladies and gentlemen. Stimulate your higher thinking. We are on a quest. This is a quest. This is the hero's journey. Are you the hero? That's up for you to decide. Peace be with you.